have gone up and down in real estate so much, and I think now I'm starting to finally get consistent income. Yeah, I'm talking about bringing in $38,000. Have I made more than this in a month? Yes, I have. This is the month that I finally do what I said I'm gonna do and make a video about it. Dog sitting again, leaving me again. Yeah. There's no parking anytime. So in the past 30 days in real estate, I made $38,796, or I brought that in as commission. These are the annual rents of all the deals that I closed in the past 30 days. Pretty much if you add all these up and then you multiply it by like 10% to like 12%, it'll give you that number that I just gave you. Right here, you can see the sum, $38,796. I've been doing real estate for a little bit. I want to talk about the mindset shift that I had, and I want to give you 2 things that you could shift about the way that you think to start making money in real estate, or really in anything that is entrepreneurial. I have gone up and down in real estate so much, and I think now I'm starting to finally get consistent income after all this time. I mean, I've made so much money and then I've made no money, both for long periods of time. And every time I did make a lot of money, I thought, oh wow, this is it. I'm finally gonna make a lot of money. And I was like, I'm gonna buy the freaking Tesla, and I'm gonna buy the penthouse, the top floor in that building right there, and I'm gonna be like Ryan Serhant, like $1 million listing. I'm gonna get rich. And that's not necessarily how it went. First things first, this 38,000, whatever that I made, it's the overall commission, it's the gross commission that came to Compass before they paid me out. I made a really good percentage off of that, but I just wanna make that clear first because I don't wanna seem like I'm deceiving you. Have I made more than this in a month? Yes, I have. Quick side note before you get into the video, wait until the end because I'm gonna put the most important tips. And I promise you, you don't wanna miss it. This is what I wish I knew 5 years ago. So I've got a showing here in Park Slope, so I'm gonna show you that real quick. It's on the corner right here, and I think it's this building right here. We'll see. You got here early?
I did. Hey, Emily, let me call you back. Bye.
What's up, man? How are you?
Good, how are you? Good to see you.
So that was my sales meeting. Whenever I go to a sales meeting, I always get things put in perspective. Like, I understand that I am such a small fry. The people that were in that room are bringing in like $200,000, $500,000 a month. And I always am humbled when I'm put in rooms like that. So I understand that there's a lot more to learn. This is why I like making these videos too, because in due time, eventually be making videos about how I made $100,000 in a month, and you guys will be able to see that. But you know, understand you're learning from somebody who's going through this journey as well. So let's get right into it. Tip 1, follow a proven formula or system. Create a plan that's gonna work, that's been proven to work. Follow people like Tom Ferry, Brandon Mulrennan, Ryan Serhant. They all have courses. Buy a course or just learn their free information that they put on YouTube. Create a plan based on the information they're giving you. Do what they tell you to do as much as you possibly can. One of the biggest things about creating your plan that you need to understand once you start to go forward and do these things day in and day out, don't be scared to veer away from that plan. In this particular amount of time that I've made this amount of money, the reason I was able to make this much in this quick period of time is because I actually had a plan, but what happened was I kind of veered away from that plan a bit. As I was learning and doing what other people taught me, I kind of figured out my own system. I tested it out, and I ended up making so much money. I was doing someone else's plan day in and day out, and then eventually I kind of veered away from that plan slightly and created my own little strategy within their strategy, and it's something that I haven't really heard anybody talk about. Hello, Stella. You excited to see me? All right, so I just said stick to a plan, and then I basically said like veer away from that plan.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I don't mean stick to a plan and then just freaking break away from it and then do whatever you want. That's not what I mean. I mean stick to the plan consistently, and if you're doing it a lot, you'll learn a lot outside of that strategy that you learn on your own. And this goes perfectly well with tip 2, quantity over quality. I say quantity over quality 1,000 times, 1,000%. Basically what I mean is stop trying to be a perfectionist. Brandon Mulrennan, who I follow heavily and I bought his course, he calls it shiny object syndrome. I think think that kind of describes it perfectly. You're just following whatever shiny object there is. You're switching from industry to industry, job to job. You're doing e-commerce and Forex, and then you're trying real estate, and you're just kind of trying all these different things. But if you really want to be successful in anything, you need to stick to one thing. And that's how eventually you'll see success. Find what you're gonna do, find a plan, and just do whatever that plan tells you to do a million times over. So if you need to cold call, make a million freaking phone calls, right? Make like 500 calls a day, buy like a multi-dialer like Mojo or batch dialer, make a million calls, right? If the plan says to put up advertisements, you know, let's say you're doing like Shopify or something like that, and it says to put up an ad to promote whatever product you have, do that a million times. Put in as much money as you possibly can. The thing about quantities, you learn so much more. If you were able to go back and look, I mean, I posted so many videos and I was very, very consistent. And if I wasn't so consistent with these YouTube videos, I wouldn't have learned how to edit so quick and, you know, what cameras are the best and the lenses and how to do this and that. I wouldn't have learned all those things if I wasn't pumping out content like crazy. And I wouldn't have learned what I'm doing in real estate now if I wasn't pumping out advertisements like crazy and going on a million showings and talking to a million clients. All right, I'm saying a million a lot. I don't freaking mean a million for you literal people out there. But yeah, I was talking to a lot of people. I was putting out a lot of advertisements. I was sticking to the plan and doing it like so much to the point that I learned so much. Seth Godin, in his book, The Dip, talks about this perfectly, breaks it down to a science. He calls it the dip, where there's this huge spike in dopamine that you get when you try something new. Everything's so exciting, everything's so fun, you're learning new things, you're absorbing lots of information, and then eventually it dwindles. You're no longer so excited because nothing is new anymore. And then that's when this happens, the dip, right? Where all the excitement is gone and you kind of just struggle to push forward in any new thing that you're gonna try. This is the part that people push through and become great. And then boom, right there. Then it becomes so much more exciting because you're getting reassured, oh, I could do this. This is amazing. I'm seeing results. And a lot of people quit right here at the bottom, the dip. So tip number 2, which is the last tip, quantity over quality. Don't quit during the dip. Acknowledge what the dip is. You're doing this, you're doing real estate, you're making the calls. It's starting to get boring. You're talking to clients, you're doing the deals. That is the part. Acknowledge it as the dip and say, I need to push through this dip right now so that I can start to see results and get excited again and make this fun and make this a part of my life. Integrate it into your life. Real estate is hard, but it's not that hard. You know what's hard? Building a freaking building from scratch as the actual people that use their hands to build the building and are up in a skyscraper on the 70th floor, dangling by a rope with a big metal beam in their hand. That's hard, okay? Real estate, talking to clients, pushing through your day, sitting here at a desk, and that's not hard. It's hard. Trust me, real estate is really hard, but it's not that hard. So acknowledge it for what it is. Take advantage of what you have. Acknowledge truly how difficult this thing really is. It's not that difficult. Just push through it. And then on the other side is where you see the success. And that's where I saw my success. I have switched brokerages 3 times. I work at Compass right now. I do real estate. It wasn't necessarily switching these brokerages that made me a good real estate agent. Understand that new things and putting yourself in new situations, it's good to do that, but that's not what's going to make you successful. I could have became a millionaire in my first brokerage. Would it have been the most ideal situation? Probably not. No, definitely not. But just understand, stop switching things, stop trying all these new things and buying all these new courses and going crazy. Usually the information that you need and the actions you need to take are like very apparent. They're right in your face. Usually it's like common sense, just do it. Be honest with me. Somebody has given you some sort of tip and said, I made a lot of money with this. You kind of took it with a grain of salt because you were like, there's a million courses out there. I'll learn something even better, right? Whatever that one thing was that somebody told you, try it out. It is important to learn, invest in courses, buy books, but don't let that trump the actual action. Learn as much as possible, but let that be like a side thing. You study, you learn, you research, you read books, but the action should be the bulk of what you're doing. That's how I made over $38,000 in this 1 month. Actually is like over $50,000 if you include my team's GCI, gross commission income. Go watch this video right here. Watch this video and I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe, comment down below if you have any questions that I should make a video about. Thank you.